Hey guys, it's been a minute. I've been really busy in the past few months, and I'm sure some of you guys are really happy I was gone. And now laughing at my view counts. Yeah, don't worry, bro. I'm laughing too, man. Anyways, I haven't seen you guys all year, and all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I ended off 2024 watching 2 heights of peak, finishing each one on New Year's night. Ready to come into 2025 with more peak, such as
But I want it now!
We'll go into 2025 watching more peak, like Captain Reshoot's Brave New World. Yeah, it looks like Full Metal is going to be carrying me throughout the year. Now, out of the things I watched in December to finish off the year, one of these films was Sonic 3, the newest inclusion in the Sonic movie franchise, and yeah, this was definitely one of the hardest things that I had seen all year. I mean, this really took the things that we didn't like from the last movie. Like, yo, you don't like these human characters? They not working for you? All right, I got you. Let's go ahead and put these on the chopping block, all right? Oh, what's that? You want some more action? All right, I got you, bro. We gonna have these suckers having some Dragon Ball looking fights with suckers getting punched to the moon and stuff. I mean, this literally leveled up. Call me crazy, but seeing how this movie turned out and how it's going now, this could be the Spider-Verse for video game movies or kid franchises. Now, I know what you're thinking. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and slow my horses. What? Just because they had my goat Shadow and Metal Sonic and stuff up in there does not mean that this was a masterpiece such as Spider-Verse. And that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that this movie absolutely took the time to listen to what the audience wanted and did it, and how they took advantage of these things to perfect this project. A thing that lots of video game adaptations do not do. So today, we're gonna sit back and dissect Sonic 3 to see how it could potentially change the video game genre forever. First things first, we gotta talk about the improvements that they made in these films. I mean, I feel like a teacher watching a student lock in during the second semester for that academic comeback. I mean, comparing these films is like comparing Wolf, Cherry Bomb, and Igor. They're so different. I mean, if you sat me down and told me that these movies would go from Sonic flossing and being the generic passenger CG character victim to having the hardest dap up of the century and going Super Saiyan Saitama Deku Gear 5 fights, I probably would have beaten you up just
Listen, wait, bro.
Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the original Sonic design. As horrendous as it was, I still find it a bit bizarre that they actually completely redesigned it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm incredibly happy that they did, but like, making a character takes a long time, and completely restarting just sets a lot of things back. And the movie was still received incredibly well. They knew that the accuracy mattered, and they were not going to stop until they got it right. You got that right, Tilu? Huh? Yeah, accuracy mattered. Even Sonic 1 was greatly received, and there were still a lot of things that I personally thought could have been fixed. One problem for me personally was the color toning of the film. Everything was kind of dull, and the visuals and action weren't really the greatest. I mean, there wasn't really any scenes that stood out to me. Fast forward a few years later and Sonic 2 hits theaters, and boom, it starts off on a whole other world. We get introduced to the wacky villains and my goat Knuckles with flaring colors, and it instantly pulls you into this world. Not exactly a fantasy world, but the world of a video game. Once I was watching the second movie, I was like, yo, hold on, why are they kind of cooking right now? Character designs were perfected. Tails was a boy girl that I still, not gonna lie, I still catch myself thinking is a girl, like I did when I was really young. And Sonic is just as good and even better than before. They heard the complaints about the dull coloring, so they had these guys going all over the world for different visuals, and makes it seem even more like a video game, traveling to like different locations and levels. The action was amped up like way higher. I mean, we saw my boy Sonic getting thrown through straight beams, getting called pathetic, and then throwing straight hands in the third act. I mean, this was filthy. In the end of the movie, again, teases a character and it's Shadow, everyone's favorite black person. Instantly, everyone is saying put Keanu Reeves as the voice of Shadow. I mean, these people are crying out for this casting like the souls of despair. And guess what? They actually got Keanu and everybody went crazy. And then the movie came out and it was just like... I mean, they really had these suckers having regular show fights. Like, this was seriously unbelievable. Right from the start of this movie, you're grabbed by the throat and thrown into this film, and it doesn't slow down or let up until the very end. Dull colors? Yeah, nah, this is gonna give you those JJK seizures and put your grandma on an extra large t-shirt. Not enough action? We're gonna have these guys fighting internationally and intergalactically. You guys don't like the human side plots? No! Alright, let's cut them out completely. No human side plots. None at all. This movie took every single note and did a phenomenal job improving on them. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a film franchise that actually improves on everything that the audience complains about. Let's talk about this weak freaking Lion King movie that nobody asked for. Everyone complained about The Lion King for having dull visuals, non-animated characters. Like, dude, the original depends on these heavy emotional moments. Like, Simba just watches his dad get slimed right in front of him. This is the face he makes? They had 6 years, nearly 6 years to work on this. And what kind of notes did they take? Absolutely nothing. Huh? The movie is still filled with dull visuals, and again, it seems like it's a heavy emotional core story, but these lions can't portray anything. Now, if we look at Sega, we can see that they actually took every single note from the past films and listened and improved, leading to the absolute mollywop that this movie is giving the Mufasa film.
No disrespect, but I didn't know you
were peak. Oh my, don't look at Nick Candace, what's wrong with you?
Sony is another example. Craven came out recently and had what I thought the potential to be one of the best Sony films, dealing with a pretty infamous Spider-Man villain who I think is still pretty underrated, and also giving this an R rating. They really could have had a good thing going for them. And the first trailer came out, and yeah, Craven the Hunter is a PETA activist who fights for animals. Yeah, because a jit wearing a lion's face as a jacket really screams that he's working for the wildlife. Like, genuine, imagine being a cub and just seeing your dad get, like, Swiss cheese right in front of you. And the sucker that helps raise you back into life to get you ready for the jungle, he's wearing your pop's face on his chest. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I gotta get back on. It took Sony 6 films, 6 movies to realize that they were doing something wrong. The hundreds of millions of dollars that went into these flops, and it all could have been avoided by just listening to the complaints of the audience. This is something that filmmakers definitely have to take in mind when making these kind of projects. Sonic could have stayed with the human side plots to add more runtime and keep the colors and visuals to a down low, well, because since it's a kids movie, who cares? But nah, they bumped this up to the absolute max, filling this movie with beautiful scenery and visual effects, and having heartfelt and mature themes about hatred, and actually adding reason and purpose to the human characters besides just being the family of the movie. Now, right off the bat from the first film, I was never really expecting great backstory work from the rest when I heard that the third film was coming out. Yeah, nah, these cats shut me up real quick. Now, I was never a huge, like, massive fan of the Sonic games or characters or anything, but I did grow up with the character, and I did always really like Knuckles and Tails, and I loved how well done they were in the second movie. I will say these films definitely handled these characters very well. Specifically in this film, I thought Shadow, wow, yeah. Specifically in this film, I thought Shadow was handled incredibly well. Not only was he a great character to see done well on the big screen, but being a catalyst directly reflecting the themes of the story of revenge and hatred, I thought that was pretty well done. Earning his backstory throughout the film through different pieces almost made it seem like earning different levels in a video game, and you could tell that they genuinely took the time to craft this as it was moving to see and handled very seriously. I absolutely loved how he was crafted in the film, so I can't imagine how fans of his character felt seeing how well done he was. I think Sonic is the best in this one, definitely. I could confidently say that. His jokes are still kind of hit or miss.
Konnichiwa? Yo, come on, man, I can't have...
But his character has always been this way, So, I mean, there's nothing really to complain about. I love the way he grew during the film from being like the cute little cuddly guy to being a King Von level crash out to get that get back for Tom. I mean, bro was literally about to genuinely fold his whole squad for that crystal. I also really liked how he paralleled Shadow in a lot of ways. Again, a pretty deep theme for a kids movie. It was a teensy bit on the nose at times, but again, it's a kids movie, and it was done pretty well. I can confidently say that there wasn't a single moment in the movie that was meant to be serious, and it didn't feel that way. When you're supposed to laugh and have fun, it's dope and you have a great time, but when you gotta lock in and get serious, you lock in and get serious. Like, it doesn't feel forced or corny or anything like that in those moments. Knuckles is better in this one as well. The same goes for Tails. They seem to serve more purpose in this movie and have their moments to shine. Knuckles especially has definitely grown as a character from a YN to a YN after playing in the snow. Robotnik also shines in this. He's an absolute idiot and annoying at times, but he has his grounded moments and interactions with Gerald that actually level him out pretty well and lead to a pretty satisfying ending to his character. The movie definitely sounds and seems overstuffed with all these characters in different arcs, but they all flow together seamlessly and perfectly. Again, for a kids movie, this was pretty freaking impressive. Overall, these things were only done by listening to what feedback the audience had to give. And yeah, I fully believe that this one thing could change everything for the video game movie genre along with the kids movie genre. From the way that these stories play out to the character writing and the designs, definitely the designs. None of this would have happened if it wasn't for us. Now, not saying that the studio didn't do any of the work, because holy crap, they definitely did, and hats off to them because they treated us amazingly well with all of these things. What I'm saying is that we make what these studios are, and it takes a lot for them to show that they care about what we, the audience, consumes and how they can perfect these things. And Sonic has definitely proven this, and I hope that these films only continue to grow and grow. And yeah, I hope the rest of you embarrassments can learn from this. Especially you.